Yo, and welcome to another semen retention video. Today I'm just sitting by the kit, having a little drum. But, you know, I just thought, I've been watching some videos on Instagram and YouTube and just taking a little bit of inspiration from some of the greatest musicians of all time, which has me thinking, you know, it's one of those things. You got to think about who are your inspirations. I'm going to try and fix this mic because I know it's pretty annoying at times in videos, so we'll try and get this right. But yeah, I know that yeah, when you're on this journey, especially a long streak, you really start to refine all those things that you worked on. And I've talked about this many times. Don't have to kind of constantly repeat it. So what I want to talk about today is where can you keep that consistency and where can you keep leveling up? Okay, so for me, I channeled a lot of my semen retention energy into guitar playing, into writing songs, into singing, into playing gigs, into learning songs. And as far as being a singing guitarist performer, it's been great. It's been excellent. I still have a lot more to go. But the thing is that it kind of gets a bit boring when you're doing, one discipline for a long time. And it feels like you maybe aren't really like expressing yourself fully. You know what I mean? So what I want to kind of have a look at is I want to see how far can I go on the drum kit? How far can I go behind the kit? And by no means do I think I'm a professional drummer, but I think I'm half decent, okay? So my whole theory is that I'm going to use semen retention to now cross-discipline myself, to become the multi-instrumentalist that I've always strived to be, that I've always self-sabotaged because something inside me has said, nah, I shouldn't do that. I should just focus on being a singer and a guitarist. And that is just another one of these programming kind of mechanisms of the matrix or, society or whatever, your peers, your family, whatever. It's just another way of programming us into being less. But the reality is, I was watching videos of Prince, okay? If you don't know who Prince is probably the most talented commercial artist that has ever existed. And I mean that, I actually mean that. Talented in terms of being able to write songs, produce music, produce a lot of music. I'm talking like thousands of songs in his lifetime. Play multiple instruments, be very, very good at every single instrument he plays, okay? He was a very good singer, a very, very good guitarist, a very, very good bassist. I haven't seen footage of him playing drums, but I'm sure he'd play very good drums as well. So why is this important on semen retention? Well, the reason why is because I always had these goals. I always wanted to be kind of like a one-man band because my experiences with musicians, especially Kumas, I actually haven't met a retainer musician in person. I know one musician retainer that I chat to on Instagram and stuff that found my channel. And I know that there's another couple of handful of musicians that do watch my videos on semen retention, and they chime in here and there, which is great. I appreciate that. But ask yourself the question, how many times have you been in these kind of working environments, whether it be a band or your own kind of professional job, whether you're in some different industry, right? How many times have you felt like your ambitions, your drives, your visions, your projects are stalling and slowing because of the Kuma low frequency energy of the people you're working with. As they say, you're only as good as your weakest link. And the same thing goes for your music or your art or your business, whatever. If one link in the chain is coming up with this Kuma energy, bringing the vibes down, everyone's up and about, funkin', rocking, doing all that cool stuff. But then you've got just one guy with the guitar, and he's sitting down, and he's slouched down, and he's checking his phone like mid-song. He's like, dum dum, oh, okay, oh yeah. Instead of putting his head in the game. Like, I'm sick of those freaking losers that come into situations and bring low energy, okay? I will replace you with my left pinky, yeah? I will replace you with my foot. I will replace you with my mouth, with my whole hand, whatever. What I'm saying is that when you're on Steven retention or semen retention in your case, unless you are a Steven, unless you're a Steven with a PH, then you can go yourself. But anyway, I'm joking. I'm not really joking because Steven with a V is much cooler. But anyway, so what I'm saying is that this whole passion and pursuit of purpose can always be derailed by some Kuma. And I'm at a point where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start to take the power back. I've done enough learning and observing from people. I've learned more about mixing by using professional mixing engineers and producers to produce my music. But again, they're slow. They're on that Kuma frequency. I'm ultra prolific. Even though, if you go on my Spotify, Mars and Leo, and you check out my music, I've only got 2 EPs out, so I've only got 9 songs out there. But I did start it I released the first EP in November last year. And then the second EP came out this last month in May. So I'm already on the trajectory of an album per year, but that was by using other people. Okay, so an album per year is pretty good. Now that I'm going into this trajectory of going completely dolo, I'm going to essentially maximize my productivity. I'm going to maximize my output. I'm going to minimize my stress, my needing to communicate with others and scheduling all this kind of stuff. And I'm going to become so insure. I'm going to become so self-reliant that I will literally be able to, I reckon, I could make 2 albums a year comfortably. Easily. I'm not kidding you. So, the thing is that I think no matter what industry you're in, no matter what, what your calling is, what you want to do with your, semen retention journey, understand that as soon as you're on that Kuma frequency, and that's not your frequency, that's you dealing with Kumas, okay? As soon as you're on that frequency, you're going to find it really hard to get in line and to be moving at a speed that is representative of you, okay? So think about it this way, okay? If you've got a boss at your job and you know an easier way, a more efficient way of getting things done, and it works really well for you and it generates sales and whatever, good service, etc., but your boss is like, no, you have to do it this way, you are lowering your frequency and you're not going to achieve what you want. It's just, and look, I don't know. I just don't think you can really work for people unless they're really smart people and motivated people and people you actually have conversations with. Like the guy that books all my gigs, we have like long conversations on the phone once a week. you know, just check in, talk about random things, talk about music, talk about the industry, talk about money, life, whatever, like frequencies I've even brought up sometimes. But the thing is that I manifested him into my life through being on my purpose. I was playing a gig. The room was encapsulated from my energy, from my vibe. Everyone was singing, you know, people were getting rowdy. He walked into my gig, saw me, he's like, "You're awesome. I want your details. I'll give you a call. I'll get some gigs for you." Gives me a call, bang. Suddenly I earn like double my pay that year, at least. So yeah, like when you are on that kind of path, even if you're completely by yourself, like you're going to be able to, you're going to be able to manifest these people that are on your frequency. And yeah, like I just think the natural evolution of retainers is that you're just going to continue to outgrow things. You're going to continue to have to prune. I've talked about pruning a lot, you know, cut the branches off, cut the dead leaves off. Like you're maintaining a healthy garden here. This is your garden. This is your output. For me, I've got all my music that I'm releasing. I've got my house that I'm building, my studio. Like I don't mean I'm building a house. I mean, I'm like building it to become a home. Okay. And that's important as well. Okay. So you continue being on that resonant kind of frequency where you're resonating with things. If you think about two notes on a guitar, it would be better if I just hit them. I'll just use some cymbals as an example, okay? All right, so I'll play this cymbal. There's a sound, okay? Now I'll play a different cymbal. That also has a sound. It's a very nice sound because it resonates, okay? If I hit this cymbal, you'll hear the frequencies resonating, and I'm gonna get to why that's important. Have a listen. So the resonant frequencies are the different vibrations, and they have a relationship with each other. And our human ear is actually like that. These are harmonics. This is harmony. This is things that have a natural relationship that makes sense. Like, for example, like the guy that books my gigs. I have a relationship with him in a sense that I only talk to him about once a week, and then we communicate via quick phone calls about, can you do this gig? Yep, I can do this gig. So it's quick, but it's really good. I like it. I like just having that one conversation a week with someone. I've got another mate of mine that I just have like maybe one catch up a week with. I don't really need to get into this kind of stuff with him. Like I've introduced him to Semen Tension and he's enjoying it, but he's not on the same level of like understanding intellectually as some of you are. But he might get there, I don't know. But like the point is that I have these resonant kind of relationships with people where we resonate on certain things and then we dissipate back into ourselves. Okay, so we're resonating when we meet together, and then after we've resonated, we dissipate into our separate paths. So that's important to just understand that, you know, when you're on a certain frequency, you will resonate with people, even if they're on a lower frequency. But the point is that they have to resonate with you. And that's why when it comes to working with other people that don't resonate with you, they're just going to naturally suck your frequency down. They're going to bring your frequency into a lower state. And that's just no place to be. It's no place to be. you know. So yeah, that's basically, I really want to kind of keep these videos pretty fresh and with the flow of life. I don't really want to plan them out too much. I've got some more things I want to talk about, but I think as far as the video goes, that's enough. So thank you so much for watching my videos. Check out the other ones I've got on my channel. And if you enjoy my videos, subscribe to Semen Retention, drop a like, drop a comment, and I'll catch you on the next one. Let's go.